Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. The Yankees stink. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
Please, Pittsburgh. Nothing to see here, please.
It's New York Minute Sports.
Well, there you have it, folks. Welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to visit the New York Nuts merch store. That's the beautiful blue link underneath the video. The Yankees have lost 6 games in a row. It's another June Boone swoon. Their starting pitching has let them down. Their hitting's let them down. Their fielding has let them down. And their manager has let them down. This is one of the worst slumps I've ever seen as a New York Yankees fan. And I know it's just not the 6 games. It's the month of June under Aaron Boone. I've said it before on this show. If you had an employee that ran your shop and every single June the place almost burnt down, would you retain that employee year after year after year to do the same exact thing without different results? I even heard Michael Kay tonight on the broadcast go, "Hey, Paul, at this point, if you're Boone, do you go into the locker room? Do you start flipping tables? Do you start yelling at these guys?" Because even Mr. Potato Head was like, "I think Aaron Boone needs to yell at these guys." You think? I've been screaming from the hilltops, and so have the New York Nuts and the Yankees fans, that this New York Yankees team is as soft as puppy shit. For the last 4 years, whenever the Yankees are pressed, they fold. Whenever there's pressure, they fold. And the New York Yankees continued it. And this is why I'm not screaming and yelling tonight, because I almost fool myself into this fake reality with the New York Yankees. You know, I got to call myself out. I always say to these guys, hey, Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge is not walking through that door. I need to give myself some of that own advice. The core 4 90s Yankees aren't walking through that door anymore. We're never going to be able to recapture what we had in the 90s and what I witnessed growing up. And guys like Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, Derek Jeter, and Mariano Rivera. Yeah, they were good ball players. But you know what? As a Yankee fan, you could always trust that they were going to put their best foot forward that day and give you 110%. You know what? Under Torre, under Joe Girardi, they had slides, they had losing streaks. But you know what? You always had trust in Joe Torre and Joe Girardi to get the team through the woods. Do you feel that same way about Aaron Boone? No, because baseball has completely changed, guys. The general managers in baseball run everything. Now, the manager position is just a puppet for what the general manager says, and he'll do. If somebody gave you $6 million a year, you'd probably listen to him too, even if they were asking for you to do stupid shit and be the fall guy, which Aaron Boone has been for the last 8 years. He can tell you that he sets the lineups. He can tell you who he does all this shit. It's bogus. Brian Cashman sets these lineups. Brian Cashman is the Senator Palpatine of the Star Wars galaxy that is the New York Yankees. And our expectations as Yankee fans has been diminished over time. It's the old analogy. It's the frog in the pot of water, okay? If you throw a frog into a boiling pot of water, it's going to jump out. If you put it in cold water and put the heat on low, it's going to boil from the inside out. And that's exactly how I feel as a New York Yankee fan right now. You know, one of the names that I hear mentioned the most by New York Yankee fans as the next manager and who they want is Jorge Posada. And I'm here to tell you that's never going to happen. What's a perfect example of that is why Joe Girardi still isn't the New York Yankees coach to this day. It was the Joe Girardi, Gary Sanchez fiasco. What Joe Girardi kept saying to Gary Sanchez was, hey, you need to be practicing your defense 5 times a week. Gary Sanchez went to the front office, said, hey, this guy's in my ass too much. Pause. And guess what? Girardi was let go, going all the way to the ALCS, while Aaron Boone is allowed to miss playoffs, he's allowed to mismanage bullpens, and he's allowed to get away with murder. And we all sit here, scratch our head, and ask ourselves why. It gets back to the Brian Cashman thing. Brian Cashman is vessel. Remember when Brian Cashman hired Aaron Boone to begin with? And everyone's like, why are they giving the kid a keys to a Lamborghini when he doesn't even have his driver's license yet? Because Brian Cashman could implement whatever he wanted. And that's why I've always said Brian Cashman needs to put the uniform on, get in the dugout, and be the manager. But you know what? Jorge Posada was ripping up baseball in a podcast. It was a Spanish podcast. I was going to play the video for you guys, but I have the translation here. Jorge Posada was firing on all cylinders and talking about the new baseball. And I can't stand it, and I've tried to adjust. But you know what? These guys overall in Major League Baseball are over-pampered prospects, and nobody holds them accountable, and no one can be yelled at. That's bullshit. I grew up in a Major League Baseball era where it was hardball, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Albert Bell. The list goes on and on of guys that you didn't want to plunk or get plunked by. Nobody gets hit by pitches anymore. They always clear the benches. Nobody fights. It's a soulless baseball, and throughout baseball, everybody's bad. The product is not good right now, and Major League Baseball staring down the barrel of a strike. I know I'm doom and gloom tonight, but the New York Yankees are empty calories, and we're getting gaslit by the Yankees franchise. Posada said, strikeouts and analytics. Posada lamented that hitters today are heavily rewarded for hitting home runs while accepting high strikeout rates. He questioned the value of a player who hits 30 home runs but bats .202 and strikes out 180 times, yet he still earns $70 million. Sounds like any Yankee fan sitting in the stands talking to each other. I heard these exact conversations in the stands last night in the stadium. He pushed back hard on the modern analytics, attempting to badmouth Derek Jeter using advanced defensive metrics and saying that he was a poor defender. Yankees' former culture, modern era with his playing days, and the demanding culture the Yankees used to uphold in the minor leagues. He described it as a military-style operation with strict rules on everything from uniform, regulations to hair length and facial hair. Clubhouse mentality. In a separate interview, he also stated that the current Yankees need an attitude adjustment, claiming they need to adopt more aggressive approach with a chip on their shoulder rather than being friendly with everybody. Took the words right out of my mouth. And what the scary part is, that dude will never be the manager of the New York Yankees because guys like him are getting thrown out of the game because they're not yes men. Look at what Stearns is doing over at Metsland. He's completely destroying the team because he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. A guy like Alex Cora might have not got another job because he didn't listen to the GM too much, and the new GM didn't like Alex Cora actually having a brain of his own, and that's why he let him go. We have a pandemic of soft as puppy shit players. No one's held accountable, and we have Harvard graduates ruining this game with analytics, launch angle, and all the bullshit that we've been put through. So this is a little bit different of a Yankees post-game show tonight because why am I going to examine a dead body when we know exactly what killed it? And that's Aaron Boone, and that's the work ethic of these current New York Yankees. I don't care who's hurt. I don't care how bad you're down, okay? You need to show up to life, and you need to put 100% of effort forward because that's exactly what the New York Yankees are not doing right now. Because you know why? When they go back into the dugout, they're not going to have Joe Torre or Joe Girardi screaming in their face. They're going to have Aaron Boone on the John Boy podcast saying how good these guys are and what potential they have. And dare I say, it's right in front of us. No, Aaron Boone, I'd like you to be behind us, pause, and I'd like you gone because this is your fault. and you haven't got this team ready, and it's too Aaron Judge reliant, and there's holes all over the place, and you guys are treading water until the 4th of July, and you're looking at the standings every night, knowing that you're going to make the playoffs, even if you play like dog shit the rest of the year. But what the Yankees are doing right now is putting themselves in a position to lose the division again, and that's solely the reason they didn't make it to the World Series last year, because Toronto had home field advantage. And the Yankees are going to do the same thing and are doing the same thing as they did last year and they do every year in the month of Boone, and it's the run-it-back Yanks, the soft, puppy shit, lifeless Yankees. And that's it, man. New York Minute Sports, that's NEWYRKMIN, New York Nuts merch store. All the T-shirts shown during the show are made in the USA, just like yours truly. If you haven't become a New York Nut yet, it's $1.99 a month. You get double the show for half the dough. It's a great show. I'm not in a great mood right now, but trust me, I'm a lot more lighthearted on the show. And remember, if you can't be good, be the New York Yankees. Good night, Canada. Bye.
That's your boy.
So
You
have the
said
word-
he was-
Goodbye, that's my boy.